Hello, Dina Wakley here to talk to you about the new Dina Wakley Media Clear Gesso that is in the August release. So why do you need clear gesso in addition to white, black, and regular gel medium? So what's the difference? So white gesso will always turn whatever you're putting it on white. Even if you put it on thin, it will whitewash it just a little bit. So here's an old vintage ledger that I have, and as I gesso over it to make the page strong and to give the page tooth so that paint sticks to it really well, as I'm gessoing over it with white gesso, you can see that that white gesso is altering the appearance of that vintage ledger. Because it has to. It's got that white color to it. You know, you could say, well, why gesso it at all? I find that I need to gesso everything because gesso gives the paper strength, it gives it tooth. That's just an art way of saying it makes paint stick to it better, and it makes paint act properly. It makes paint act the way it's supposed to on the paper. So here's a page coated with a thin coat of white gesso. So then this page I'm going to coat with a thin coat of clear gesso. So clear gesso is going to do the same thing as the white gesso, except that it's going to have that clear foundation. So it will preserve the substrate, it will preserve the look of whatever you are putting it on. So as I paint over this, paint's going to stick to it, paint's going to act properly, paint's going to move the way I want it to move, but what the clear is doing, it's not obstructing that background. So I think that's one of the great advantages of clear gesso, is that it keeps the background intact as far as the color and the pattern that's on the background. So here's another use for clear gesso. You can put the clear gesso in the middle layers or even the top layer of your art. So this is just a piece of watercolor paper that I had put white gesso on, and then I had put some color, looks like I have magenta and tangerine and a little bit of sterling. On the top piece I put a wipe of gel medium, and on the bottom piece I put a wipe of clear gesso. And I have not found a pen that likes to write on gel medium, and that Fude ball pen that I love so much, it is awesome. It does pretty good on acrylic paint, I mean amazingly well, but it doesn't like glue, which is what gel medium is. So this is that Fude ball pen. I tried to write "Hello, I love Ranger" on the gel medium, and it worked sort of. I mean, it doesn't look very good. It didn't work here at all. It skipped a little bit. Here is the same pen written over the clear gesso. So let's say I had glued book paper down and I knew I had a lot of gel medium on my piece, and you know that you want to doodle or write next. If you put a thin coat of clear gesso over your piece or over the areas that are super slippery, then you can write really well with your pens. So it kind of acts as a workable fixative in a way. It's a way to make slippery areas of your work have grit and have texture again, so that the next layer that you put on sticks really well. So think about that as well, not just as a foundation, but also as a tool for in-between layers to make sure that things stick really well. So another thing that you can do is use it as a sealer so that you can make water-soluble things not move. You just have to do it carefully, because if you're putting the clear gesso over anything that is water reactive, you're going to make it move. So here's clear gesso over Stabilo pencil, and if I start painting over it, I'm dissolving that pencil, right? But if I carefully come along with the mini blending tool, and if I pounce that on and not swipe it on, I can actually set and seal that pencil. So I hope that gives you some ideas for ways to use the new clear gesso. I think it'll be a great medium to add to your repertoire.